All right. Well, this is the second part. I had to adjust some of the maxillary teeth because the contour is not right. Like I would compare the left side and the right side to make sure they're symmetrical. Sometimes if you curve the left side and right side differently, then the distal end of the, let's say the canine in this case, would end differently, and that's gonna affect where you're setting the posterior teeth. So I usually make sure that's checked before I move forward. Now, like you can see, I only remove like 2 teeth at a time so that I have some reference. I know the teeth are just too like buccally placed. So if I keep some of the existing setup there, I can see how much I corrected. Okay, that's why I left it there. Alright, and when you're setting the mandibular posterior teeth, you can see that I move my articulator a lot because I look at it from the occlusal view, from the profile view, and from the frontal view. So from the occlusal view, I'm looking at if the if the teeth are like falling into the the lingual cusp, they fall in Pound's triangle. And I also look at if the central groove is on top of the ridge, if it's in the center. Okay, when I look at it from the profile view from the side, I'm looking at if the occlusal plane exceed half to 2/3 retromolar pad. And when I look at it from the frontal view, I'm looking at if the buccal cusp and lingual cusp are at equal height. Okay, it cannot have one taller than the other. It has to be equal height. And this is where it's very that it comes in handy when you have the occlusal plate that you can use. But make sure if you're using the occlusal plate, a lot of people, they would rest occlusal plate right on the retromolar pad to the incisor, like incisor edge. Make sure you aim your anterior, you can rest it on the incisors, but for the posterior, you have to aim it towards half to 2/3 retromolar pad, because that's where your occlusal plane is. Alright, so if you draw a line from like the lingual side of the retromolar pad to the mesial of the canine, you can see that on the patient right side, obviously there's a little bit more space between the ruler and the previous teeth setup, and that's what I was adjusting. Okay. You can see the way I adjust the tooth is, if I want it to tilt certain angle, I would hold one side. Let's say I want it to tilt lingually, I would hold from the buccal and push it with the push it with my instrument so I can do a fine adjustment. If you just I know that some people, they like to put all the teeth on in the arch and then start do adjustment. I usually don't do that because that gives me no room. If I want to move teeth like mesodistally, I don't have any room. And so I usually make sure like one tooth is good, then move on to the next one. So by the time you're done with all the teeth setup, you don't have to worry about the adjustments. Like you're pretty much done. And you can see that I'm checking if the I exceed the half to 2/3 retromolar pad. Alright, and like even though like I finished the setup here, it's not perfect.